Welcome to the Romeo Theater. I'm John Romeo. On each show, we present a short movie and tell you a little bit about the story behind it.
Well, you know how I am. Always trying to help out my friends. Huh? No. I had to bring Jimmy to the junkyard. Yeah, he needed to get an alternator for his car. You know what? Actually, it's pretty cool. I mean, they let you take whatever you want off of these cars. You know what, baby? I need to get going. I need to get back to helping Jimmy. Yeah, I'll just call you after your thing tonight. All right. Yeah, me too. All right, bye-bye. Hey, you done yet? You know, some of us have to get back to real jobs.
Can you give me just like 2 minutes?
You know, you might want to think about getting a new car. This piece of crap looks exactly like yours.
Yeah, but you don't just throw something away because it's imperfect.
Dude, you're never gonna get any tail in your ride. Who knows? Maybe that's why Jackie left you.
We're not going to talk about her again. And besides, there's nothing wrong with my car. Can you look in the trunk and see if there's a jack back there? Please? Thank you.
Hey, Jim, come check out all the junk back here. Yeah, you'll love it.
Who wears this crap?
Dude, you know what that is?
What?
Sarah and Steve. You have a VCR?
Yeah, I got one in the basement.
Well, then I'm keeping this.
Hey.
Compensation for taking you out here today. Speaking of which, are you done yet? Because I've got a meeting I've got to get back to. You know, some people have real jobs that actually have meetings. Do you know what a meeting is? It's a place where people sit. Oh, you were able to carry that thing up all by yourself, huh? That thing run up a couple of hamsters? Think you can handle this?
Feeling nice and relaxed?
Feel great.
That's good.
I was nervous last night at the rehearsal, but other than that, I'm fine now. Everything's fine.
Wedding video. That's disappointing. Bride's kind of hot, though.
In sickness and in health,
In sickness and in health.
I will love you
I will love you
and honor you
and honor you
all the days of my life.
all the days of my life.
Mr. and Mrs. Stephen Wickelson.
Well, we'd like to thank everybody for coming today and making our day so special.
Yep.
And I want to thank my husband for making this the most wonderful day of my whole entire life.
Same car. The same car from the junkyard.
How'd it end?
They lived happily ever after. Sarah and Steve Wendelson. I think I found them. It's an old address down in Roxborough. I'm gonna head down there and see if they're still there.
What if they're not?
I guess I'm just gonna find them.
Dude, why do you do this?
What?
You're gonna waste a whole Saturday driving, what, 3 hours? For what?
Rob.
A couple of strangers.
Rob, this is important.
Jim, you need to stop. You're always helping out people you don't even know. Who cares about them? You need to start taking care of yourself, man. Dude, why do you think Jackie left you?
I don't know. I don't know. But I do know Sarah and Steve are gonna want this back.
Natalie, no.
Anna, stop it. Mom.
Hi.
Mom,
Yes.
Mom, Evan hit me. I did not.
All right.
Stop.
Hi. I was at the junkyard, and I found this. I think it's yours. I thought you might want it back.
That was ours, but Steve left and left a lot of crap behind, so when they took the car, I just threw a bunch of stuff in there. So I don't, there's a reason I got rid of that.
I'm sorry.
I gotta go.
Hey, wait. That was really nice of you, but that was really nice.
I'm sorry I bothered you.
Don't be. What's your name?
I'm Jimmy. I'm Jimmy Elliott.
Sarah Wendell. Sarah Quinlan.
A lot of ideas I have for short films are not full stories, they're just fragments or scenes, and then I come up with stories by mashing a few of these scenes or fragments together. That's what happened with Salvage. I've had an idea for a while about making a movie where someone discovers an old videotape which would contain authentic footage of one of the actors from a long time ago. Sean and I went to dinner one night and he was telling me about a recent trip he took to the junkyard. Although not supposed to call it a junkyard, this is an automotive recycling center. Anyway, he was saying it would be a really cool place to shoot, so I thought, what if someone finds an old videotape there?
Dude.
The story about making this movie is really all about the logistics of shooting it. We needed the car that Jimmy's working on in the beginning of the movie to match the wedding getaway car from the 1990s, preferably with the same actress waving out the window. And it needed to be the same car model that Jimmy drives, since he was pulling parts off of it in the junkyard. Now, Sean argued that we should find a car for Jimmy to drive first and then find a similar one at the junkyard. But I really wanted to use a car on the end of the aisle to give me a wider range of shooting options. We knew we wanted a basic American car, but since vehicles are constantly changing here at Chesterfield Auto Parts, we didn't pick out the car we were going to use until we got there. After we shot the junkyard scene, Sean began the very difficult process of trying to find a matching car to actually drive. Ellie St. John was my first choice for the role of Sarah, and I was considering using footage from my cousin's wedding video to try to pass off as Ellie's. But when Ellie told me that she had a wedding video of her own, it was perfect. However, it was vital to the story that Sarah drive away in the same car that we see in the junkyard, which of course wasn't on Ellie's wedding video. So we gathered a group of friends and staged the wedding getaway, shooting it with my old Hi8 video camera, with Sean driving.
This is the hat that I wore to go away on my honeymoon, and these are the earrings that I actually wore on my wedding day. So obviously the rings are the same too.
It was Ellie who recommended using Fred Iacovo, who Sean and I hadn't met in person until we rehearsed his material the night before. We shot all of his scenes on the first day, the junkyard, the morning scene, and then the evening scene. Our second day of shooting, months later, was all centered around the borrowed car. At Sarah's house, then Jimmy driving, and then the wedding getaway scene. Now, if you're a Romeo Theater fan, you might recognize the location we used for Sarah's house. It's my friend Mike's house, and it's been featured prominently in shows number 27 and 35. I always talk about storyboarding, but for this one I intentionally didn't use storyboards. I thought it added a challenging tension to my shooting, keeping me on my toes and working hard to keep each shot fresh. I also think it helped the actors because we ran through whole scenes over and over and over, rather than having them just say 1 or 2 lines for a shot based on my storyboards. The whole movie was shot with one camera. I had 4 hours of footage by the end for this 10-minute movie. The editing became more time-consuming without storyboards to follow, but it was a fun and different process than I'm used to. The score for Salvage was provided by my friend and composer Jeff Newkirk. Jeff's provided a number of Romeo Theater scores, including the Romeo Theater theme music we hear throughout each show. Now, we've seen Sean at the Romeo Theater a million times, and we always appreciate his contribution. But I really want to thank Fred and Ellie for working with me on this one. They're both professional actors whose performances really added depth to the story. And it's worth noting that Ellie and Rick, who let me use their wedding video, are still happily married. 14 years now with 2 wonderful kids.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Well, the Romeo Theater has passed its 4-year anniversary, and I want to thank everyone for watching and supporting the show. I've had a great time bringing it to you. We've come a long way since that first episode I shot by myself in my dining room. I also want to thank all of the directors who presented their movies here so far. You've been vital to the Romeo Theater's success. As this show is already running long, I'll quickly plug my usual stuff. More movies can be found at romeo-theater.com. And if you have a short film that you'd like to share with our audience, visit the theater website and click the submissions link on the right. And if you enjoy the show, I hope you'll write me a review over at the Apple iTunes Store, where you can subscribe to the Romeo Theater as a free video podcast. And I always love to hear from you. Email me anytime, john@romeo-theater.com. Okay, I think that's it. Hope to see you next time at the Romeo Theater, now in year 5. How do I get out of here?
Dude, why do you do this?